Greek Philosopher here with the first video for the series of my reviewing every Demon Hunter album they ever produced. Today I'll be reviewing their first self-titled album, which was Demon Hunter, obviously. In the early days of Solid State and Tooth and Nail Productions, we had bands like The Crucified, Soul Embraced, Living Sacrifice, Training for the Utopia, Zao, as well as a few others that really helped make Tooth and Nail and Solid State Records as big as they are today. Ryan Clark, previously from Training for Utopia, has been wanting to create his own project for a very long time. And he and his brother had been listening to a lot of music and getting very inspired, so they kind of wanted to create a new band, something, a more fresh image to make new metal a lot better, so to speak, in the Christian music scene, because there wasn't a whole lot of it going on. And they wanted to create a very well-produced, high-quality, heavy Christian music that Christians can listen to as a positive alternative to a lot of the secular metal that was around at the time that had very bad messages. Thus, Demon Hunter was born. In 2002, Demon Hunter had released their first self-titled record. This album included the hit that got most of their fan base. Most of Demon Hunter's fans were hooked by the song Infected. It's amusing how so many of Demon Hunter's fans got hooked on them from a song called Infected. A lot of them will use the pun and say that's the song that infected them into listening to them all the more. I being one of them, because I heard, like I said before in my previous video, which I will not repeat because it's pointless. The whole self-titled record included songs like Infected, Screams of the Undead, My Throat is an Open Grave, Turn Your Back and Run, and The Gauntlet, which proved to be some of their most well-known songs when they first started to become popular. Personally, one of my favorite songs is A Broken Upper Hand because it's so heavy and so driving, and the drums are just awesome. The whole album had a very dark, a lot of gothic overtones to it. I'm not so sure if that was really the direction that Ryan Clark was going for, or that's what he would call it as, but to me, being the goth that I am, I would say that it's got a lot of gothic overtones. My Throat is an Open Grave was another one of my favorite songs from this record because it really showed a demonstration of their faith, and I could really relate to them with that. I could really relate to that song when I heard it because it kind of, made me feel a little more at home with these guys because, I felt the exact same way. I've been living in sin for so long, and finally God's led me into repentance, and I'm finally alive. As the chorus quotes, "It feels good to be alive. I've been dead for so long." It's a very, very good song. It's one of those songs that whenever it's on, I just turn it up and sing really loud to it. They've got a lot of songs like that, and that's definitely one of them. The Gauntlet was one of their more personal, darker ballads, probably the darkest ballad they've ever written, and it has a good message in the sense that, you think you want something and you want to reach out to grab it, but in reality you really don't need it, which is why God really isn't giving it to you, because he knows you really don't need it and that you'd be satisfied more with, just simply coming to him. At least that's the message I pulled out of it. I'm sure some people got some other things out of it. It's a very good song. I'm surprised at how popular that got because it's a very darker song, but it's not as heavy as most of the other songs on the record, but it does have a more odd tone to it that people in alternative subcultures could really relate to that stuff, which is why I'm very thankful that, Demon Hunter is here and wrote this record as well as the other 5 that they have. Well, with that said, let's take a look at the packaging. Now I keep all of my CDs in a case. Here it is. So, let's take a look. Here you can see I have my collection of Demon Hunter records. And I'm going to need to, well, obviously not records or CDs, but recordings and DVDs. Well, DVDs are recordings. And yeah, I'm going to have to move everything about 2 spaces over so I can fit my deluxe edition discs in here for their new record. Alright, here we go. This here is the disc for their self-titled release. I know any of you who have this, already knows all this stuff, but for those who haven't, this is what it looks like. I thought that was really cool. It also looks really cool when you have it on a CD player that has, a transparent lid, and you get to see it spin around. It's really neat. And on there it has the website link, demonhunter.net, which is the site I went to shortly after I bought this. And alright, here we have the booklet. Now, tell me that is not one of the coolest album covers you ever saw for a metal album. Ryan Clark is absolute genius. He didn't do all of the album artwork for each of his albums on Demon Hunter. He did do some of them though, and for the other ones, Dan Seagrave did, and we'll see those later. They lay it out like a book. So you got the table of contents there, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, yeah. See, and that's just, I thought that was really cool. And down here you can see 2002 Solid State Records. Yeah, I thought this was, the fact they laid it out like a book like this was just really cool and really helped tie the experience together. Letters from the Seventh War, and then we got, Screams of the Undead, a song about struggling with things. I've Seen It Where It Grows. It's basically another song about struggling with things. Infected, which another song about struggling with things. They have a lot of songs about that stuff. The Red Wasp and the Everlasting Death. And My Throat is an Open Grave. This is where they start. There's some elements of hope coming into play here, which you don't see in secular metal bands. You don't really see much of any hope of anything other than living for yourself, which is why Demon Hunter is so great. They sing also a lot about problems, but they also sing a lot about hope. Through the Black, which is, in a way, I believe it's screaming out to God. I've seen it through the black. I'm going to scream your name till you come back. Great stuff. I love how they have this set up. Turn Your Back and Run. See, another song regarding hope. Love, Grace for Fallen Souls, and this is where it just ties in all together. And The Sky Went Red, which is just a little track. It's just a little ambient track to tie into the next songs. As We Wept. We got Broken Upper Hand, my favorite song off this CD, and lastly, The Awakening. So that it all ties in together. And there you go, The Gauntlet. So, that's the booklet. Now, this is the back. I thought this was really cool. How Ryan Clark standing there with the necklace around says Demon Hunter. I don't know who made that for him. If someone who knows could put that in the comments section or something, that would rock. I'd love to know, because that's just really, really cool. Solid State Records, Screams of the Undead, I've Seen It Where It Grows. In fact, track listing. Produced by Aaron Wild Boar Sprinkle, because Aaron Sprinkle makes just about all these albums, and just about every album Tooth and Nail has ever produced. Tooth and Nail and Solid State Records, that is. Well, he didn't do all of them, but most of them. Anyway, so there you go. That's the packaging for their self-titled CD. Well, thank you guys for watching my review. I hope you found it entertaining. Please stay tuned to see when I review The Summer of Darkness in the next review. Freak Philosopher, over and out.